Well, hello everyone. My name is Christian Jager. I'm a Crown Diamond with Max International, and my co-host is Kelly Ronsyn, who is a Platinum Associate with Max International. And Kelly and I wanted you to have access to her knowledge when it comes to utilizing this social media called LinkedIn. She's been very, very successful in utilizing this, and she's going to share with you a few pointers for you to get started. So, Kelly, thank you for joining in, and I'll turn the call over to you.
Thanks very much, Chris. Hi, everyone. Okay, so LinkedIn, just a little bit of a statistic before we start is that LinkedIn had started around 2003. I've been using it for well over 10 years. Very simple platform. If you're familiar with Facebook or other social media, it's very easy to use. There's about 600 million users presently on LinkedIn, so that's a huge opportunity for us. And about 300 of those are active, 300 million are active users right now. So, and I'm sure that with everything's happening right now that people are going to reactivate. It is a free service. You can, in order to widen your database, pay a little bit more, but it's a great platform. And in fact, in 2020, there's actually 2 professionals every second that are actually joining. So what we're going to cover tonight is how to get started on LinkedIn, how to make those connections, and then what are you going to say. So Chris, if we could go on to the URL www.linkedin.com. That is going to take us to the home page of LinkedIn. Okay, so once you're in, you're going to see some of the top bars, and we're going to cover the highlights of it, but be rest assured that there is a lot more information that you can tap into. So if on the right-hand side you've got where it says work at the top with the little bars, that is where you can look at learning tools on how to be more specific on what you want to learn with LinkedIn or just any other topics. If we go to YouTube and you want to learn more specifics on that as well, you can tap into YouTube and search under LinkedIn, and that will give you all kinds of short videos on how to be very specific things that you're looking for LinkedIn. So there's lots of tools. There's also a lot of seminars that are offered on LinkedIn, but let's keep to the basics so that you can get started right away. And so what you're going to do first is build your profile. So if you click onto the Me, that is where you're going to build a profile. Make sure you've got a good professional picture, because LinkedIn is designed for professionals, and a lot of recruiters actually use this platform to recruit people. So you've got the section in blue, add the profile. So you're going to be adding the profile, adding your picture to it. And the edit, you've got the little pencil that's on the right-hand side. That's where you can edit information and add. So it's just like setting up an account with any application basically, and filling in the information. But the key is to make it interesting, because if you were going to do a profile or somebody is going to be searching for you or taking a look, when you invite people to look at you, they want to see something interesting, something that catches their eye. And it's also going to be a form of way that you can start a conversation. So if you scroll down, Chris, you're going to see, it'll give you the strength of your profile, so you can always create more information and more interesting information. It will give you your experience, so that you're going to really what you're all about. What experience have you had in terms of your work? Be specific, be creative. Okay, so that is building your profile. As I mentioned, you can get a little bit more specific information on YouTube, or just even the help feature that you've got on LinkedIn. Okay, the next is we're going to cover the messaging. So if you click on the top bar, there's messaging. That is after you have messaged people, that is in your database since the beginning that you've actually started with LinkedIn. So you can, you can touch base with people. You don't have to remember. It gives you the date of when you actually connected, and you can touch base with people at any point in time, okay, for the messaging. My network, if we go to the right on the My Network, all of the connections that you have. So at the top, in between jobs, there's the My Network little icon. Okay, so if you click onto that, that is your connections. Those are all the connections that you've made. You've got the number, you've got the contacts, you've got the groups, et cetera, that you follow. And sometimes people are going to be looking at your profile and they're going to request for you to connect with. And you see that you can either accept that or ignore, and then they become part of your database. Okay, so that is the first, how to get started, how to build your profile. Secondly, what we want to do is we want to search for people. So there's a huge search engine on LinkedIn. And if we go to the top bar, the search engine, what we typically will key in is if we're in, and I like to make it really easy. If you are in the banking sector, then you can search under, put in your search engine bar, bankers, just type into bankers.
And Kelly, just to orient me here, where I wasn't sure where you wanted me to click here.
Okay, so the home that you've got right now is really your home page.
Yeah.
So that is what somebody is going to see. So if we can click onto that,
The
the
home
home
page.
page.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that is just going to be a summary of information. Okay, and the news feed that you get from everybody that's in your network. Okay, so a good point. So let's start making some connections, and what you want to do is search. So on the far left at the top, you're going to have your search engine, and you can search by people, by jobs, by content, companies, etc. So what I like to do is, because I've got a lot of strong posture and a lot of my experiences in the banking sector, I'm going to say, for instance, put bankers in, but I'm going to make a comma, and I'm going to say, comma, Canada, because I want to know of all the bankers that are in Canada. Okay, and that will give you the numbers. So if you see at the top, you've got showing 23,618 results of bankers. Okay, and the reason why I might choose that first, and I would recommend for you to do the same, is because you can speak to it. Then what will happen is you'll see that there's a little number beside that person. It'll connection, a second connection, or a third connection. The only way you can message a person is by a first connection. So what you want to do is to connect with them, and they would have to accept your invite in order for you to now message them. So if you clicked on to connect,
is it going to trigger it right away, or?
It will and give you a message that you've connected with that person. So you can click on to connect, and that's going to just send now. So you could either add a note or just click on and send now. I tend to just make the connection first and not add a note. Okay. And then when you send now, what will happen is if your email is attached to your phone, you're going to get a message on your computer or on your email, if it's connected, to say that the person's accepted you, and now you can start making, you can message them. Okay, so you could could put doctors and in USA, or if you're in you know, the engineers, or whatever you want to put in the search engine, you could do that. And usually you need to typically separate it by a comma in order for the search engine to be more specific. And that will tell you all of the physicians, especially in, you know, Africa, all of your physicians that you can have, because your approach is going to be very different. Now, if we go up to the top, we might search by nurses. You know, it could be doctors, it could be nurses, it could be naturopaths. You could search under pharmacist. You could search under a specific person. So if you searched under a specific person, people, then all the people that have the name of, you know, that specific name that you can connect with. Okay, and they will, really cool. And that will be your profile.
Very cool, very cool.
Okay, so it's very, very simple in terms of search. Play with it. You know, you're going to see it populate, and all you're doing is connecting to them. If they accept it, they are now becoming your first connection. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So now if they've connected with you, they're now in your database, and that is as a first connection that you're able to send messages. So my network and your connection, you can click onto your connections, and that will give you all of the people that are now in your database, and you have the opportunity to actually message them. Okay, so you can see all the names on the left-hand side. Those are all the people in your database. And then you click on message, and then you can simply write a message to them.
Mhm.
Now, the messaging, given the times that are right now, I think that what people are looking for is maybe making a connection, showing, you care about them. You could find something interesting on their profile. And typically what I do is I'm always reading their profile. I'm understanding the kind of person that they are, who they follow. Maybe they have an interesting picture. I relate to this. So what I try and do is not pitch the business. For the most part, at this point in time, the best thing you could do is make a connection with somebody and just say, hi, thanks for the connection. You have really similar backgrounds. How are you doing? It could be that sort of simple message to a person. The only time I get very specific with a person is if I am talking to, say, a doctor or a pharmacist, and I would say something like, we have the most amazing breakthrough in cellular health, and giving also to the opportunity to build global residual income. Because I think right now what is happening are people are looking for something that they can improve their health with, and then they're also looking for opportunities to work from home. And it's never been more poignant as it is right now.
Mhm.
So you can think of things, that's really kind of how you get started. It's very, very simple. And there's lots of tools that are going to help you. Just be real with people, care about people, build the connection, build the relationship, and follow the success cycle. And that's about it, Chris.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for sharing, Kelly. And folks, this segment went around for about 10 minutes, and we certainly look forward to your feedback and comment. And Kelly will be happy to share more information. So I hope that this was helpful. Thank you very much, Kelly, for your knowledge on this particular social media tool. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Chris. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.